Good evening, everybody. This is the building committee meeting of the San Benito CIC Board of Trustees. It is Tuesday, June 4th, 2019. I call this meeting to order at exactly 6:30 p.m. The first item on the agenda is a presentation or update on the facade for San Benito High School and Sullivan Elementary by GMS Architects. Mr. Gomez, welcome.
This is my associate, Isaac Ochoa. He's the technical guy, so in case I don't mess up.
Welcome.
We've met with Dr. Carmen and staff out at both at the high school and at excuse me, at Sullivan on several occasions, taking measurements and different things to try to see what is the best approach, the most economical approach that will still give you an attractive building. And this is the synopsis of what we've got. Over at the high school, we're looking at an addition. This is the demolition plan, so that whole area in red and the canopy, the entrance canopy would be taken out, and this would accommodate. This would be to accommodate. If you'll go to the next one, the spaces that Dr. Codman and the staff were looking for, and that it has a waiting area that is a secured waiting area. It has a reception that is the control area, so nobody gets in without it being released. Then the classrooms is a computer classrooms, and these are offices that support that computer classrooms. And then there's a large lobby space. And what we were thinking of is that this is a big display area. Dr. Codman had mentioned about putting the car in there, doing something like that. We could have the trophy cases in here. And to make it a different type of space, one of the things that we've used in several occasions, most recently is over at the Veterans High School in Brownsville, is we used what they call clouds. And so it makes the space look much larger, it's much more inviting. And so that's what we were looking at using in this particular situation to make it more pleasant. Now we would be taking out the glass windows that are there right now, that portion of it. We're limited in the distance that we can come out because of the secondary entrance into the library. Now, all the building will be that height of the large of the high area, and on the third one you can see the elevation that we're looking at. Now the colors, you pick them. This is just our rendition of what we're looking at. But we think it'll be a very attractive addition. It really tells the students and the family, the parents, where to go, where the entrance really is. It really defines it. Over at Sullivan.
Mr. Gomez, you mentioned you're limited because of the second entrance to the library. Is that a final decision, or?
It's the most economical solution.
Got it.
It's because the entrance is not only in, but it's lower.
Okay.
And so to have it structurally make it,
Okay.
it would be difficult.
Okay.
Be costly.
So that entrance will still exist?
Yes, you would
Okay.
still have that. Over at Sullivan, we went over there trying to see exactly how we could get the entrance to the school, make it attractive, and do the things that the principal wanted it to do, and the spaces that were needed. And so one of the things we would have to do is that canopy that's in front, that would have to be demolished, as do the sidewalks, because we would reorient the sidewalks. And what we were having is that entrance would be approximately 16 feet wide, and we're limited to that because that's the entrance into the building to the left on the site, the existing one. And so that we have a large waiting area that would have a receptionist in that area, and then waiting for the staff. And then we would have a control point going into the classroom building. And one of the things that she asked for was a conference room, so that the existing administration still stays confidential. And so this is our presentation. The last page is what the elevation would look like. It mimics the entrance into the other building. And so we'll be using the same type of brick, the same motif. Depends on where you want to put the lettering on the building. And that's something that beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and y'all are the ones.
I got a quick question, Mr. Gomez. As far as these new facades, as far as the lighting is concerned, do you have any idea yet on the lighting? It's going to be LED lighting, some type of lighting to accentuate that whole area, or?
You mean ground lighting to show
Yes,
up the building?
ground lighting, yeah, any type of lighting systems around there, do you have
Oh,
any?
yes, we can do that. We were looking at all the interior lightings would all be LED. At the high school, that would be on a separate air conditioning system because, as Dr. Codman says, that'll be used at different times. You don't want to be running on the chiller. The clouds really help us utilize an indirect lighting, a linear lighting, and it'll make the space more attractive.
Thank you, sir, appreciate it.
Any more questions? Thank you, Mr. Gomez. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez.
We now move on to our next agenda item. That is a review and discussion of proposals RFP-0519-RPAHS, the resurfacing of parking areas and additional parking lot at San Benito High School. Dr. Carmen?
All right, so based on the RFP and our evaluation of it, the recommendation to the board is we accept the proposal from R&R Paving for a total of $224,626.59 as the best value for the district. We did receive, Mrs. Rendon, 8 bids, but 2 were not complete. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
If I scroll forward, I guess I would have seen that. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, we had 8 bids, 2 were not completed correctly, and then you can see the overall score there with the overall high score going to R&R Paving.
Any questions?
No, I don't got a question, I just got to make a comment to Ms. Rendon, and to everyone, to her staff. Is it just me, Ms. Rendon, or we're seeing an increase in the number of I guess, quotes?
Of interested
Yeah,
individuals, increase
Right.
in submitting quotes?
Are we doing
Yes.
are we doing a better job of marketing it out to opening up the bids, or how does that work?
There has been more interest in getting additional quotes. We saw that in several other RFPs that we put out. We've gotten interest,
Good, great.
good
Okay.
competition.
Awesome. Good business practice. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, agenda item. Our next agenda item is the review and discussion of best value quote, bus loop concrete project at San Benito High School. Dr. Carmen?
Yes, sir. So the resurfacing and the new parking lot didn't include the concrete work for the bus turn. This is something that we know we can't do in blacktop. Otherwise, those heavy vehicles in the hot weather, as soon as they start making that sharp turn, it's going to push up. It's not going to last. So this is a separate best value bid, and the best bid we got for it is from Morwell LLC in the amount of $88,905.30.
Any questions?
It's not real long. It's just the turn.
The bus, can you remind me what bus loop we're talking about?
I'm sorry. Yes, sir. This is all at the high school. So we got the bid for the resurfacing and we got the bid for the additional parking spaces. Those are all asphalt, but the bus loop we felt like needed to be redone with concrete.
And which loop is that?
The bus loop that goes right there in front of the band hall.
That loop, okay.
So I'm assuming moving forward at the barn, at the bus barn, we're gonna need concrete there eventually too, correct?
That is a heavy used area, so
Right.
with asphalt, it will tendency to deteriorate very quickly, so they put in the concrete for, yes, it would probably be engineered.
Okay, ma'am, thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, agenda item. Next, we have a review and discussion of the replacement of outdoor furniture at San Benito High School. Yeah, it's just Christmas at the high school. Dr. Carmen?
Yes, sir. So Ms. Landrum submitted this bid with the recommendation, excuse me, in the amount of $71,252, with the vendor being Park Place Recreation. Looks as if they evaluated 4 bids for this, Ms. Landrum, is that correct? There she is. And the recommendation here is to go with the low bidder, it looks like, with a Park Place out of San Antonio, $71,252.
And what do we, historically, what do we do, where's Ms. Lambert? Oh, historically, what do we do with the old furniture? Yeah, please. Or I guess, would you know the shelf life of the current furniture?
I do. I was here when it was put in originally, which is not good. It's been there 24 years, if you can believe that. And that's why we were going with this same company. We researched and finally found the company that initially installed this furniture because we thought we could replace the tops and the seats because the bases were still pretty solid. But in reviewing that, the company did come down. They did recommend that we could cut off those tables that are in concrete, and we've talked with Mr. Garcia. And then we're going to put more mobile type tables on top, and then they'll be secured to the concrete. They'll be a little more flexible. But it is the same company, and because of the experience with this company and longevity of the tables that have been there, literally, they've been there 24 years. Wow. Their product quality, in fact, the warranty says 50 years, but I think hopefully we'll change it before 50 years. So I think in speaking with Mr. Cavazos and the other vendors that he had talked to, we felt like this was a great value for the district. And so this would be our first phase. We're visiting with Ms. Rendon and Dr. Carmen to improve the seating at the outdoor seating for high school. And then we'll be following up with another recommendation to increase the outdoor seating and perhaps add some outdoor canopies so that it makes it more of an all-weather and all-purpose seating.
Does this,
So this is in the existing areas. This is just replacing.
it's just replacing.
Existing,
and this is all outdoor furniture?
correct.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Agenda item.
Agenda item? Committee concerns, not concerns, but I just wanted to get a timeline update on the Marquees. Are we at 100%?
I chuckle because we've been talking about those this week. So we have a timeline. I'm going to give a ballpark figure, Mr. Rendon. If you have the actual timeline there, that'd be great. But we have completed, well, Mr. Garcia's here as well. We've completed high school, VMA, Dr. Cash. That last I knew, they were working on both Oscar de la Fuente and Rangerville. And we're set to be completed near the end of June. Is that correct? End of July, I'm sorry, end of July.
Okay.
Supposedly this week, they're supposed to do 4.
I have
Yes.
a question.
In the July, we want to bring in an actual pictures and a report to the board,
Okay.
as well as we're starting the gym enclosures. So we
And that was
want to
my
bring that in.
next question. What is the timeline on the gym closures?
They were to this week to get the permits, and they should start 5 days after they get the permit. So this coming week, they should start off with Garza. I think it's Garza?
Yes.
The first one, and they will be providing a timeline also in regards to how, and giving an update at the July meeting or the next building committee meeting.
So it won't be completed by July, we'll just get an update.
How many they've done.
How many?
They project, Mr. Garza,
I think Mr. Cavazos, they just gave us the timeline today,
Okay.
as a matter of fact. And I think starting probably on the 8th, which is a couple of days from now, they should start with Dr. Garza, and they should finish by August the 15th, day the kids come in. so that'd be great, I guess.
Oh, so they'll finish all of the gyms?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. We just got this today from them.
Perfect.
So maybe they'll get ahead of schedule, hopefully.
So I got a
Don't
question,
jinx
Mr.
it.
Garcia.
Yes.
So for the inclement weather, enclosing the gyms is awesome. I mean, all of us, we're thrilled about it. But we also had a discussion as far as the distance between the school and the gyms.
Correct.
So in some schools, there's a
At
huge
some
gap.
schools, for example, yeah, Sullivan, they have a canopy going right into it. It'll be perfect.
Right.
As a matter of fact, we're gonna have to cut the canopy to allow that bay door to get in there. But also you have Dr. Garza.
That's-
That's pretty far from
Yes, sir.
the school. So, yeah, eventually we'll probably have to build some canopies to get to the gym.
Right, because it doesn't do us any good to have them enclosed, and then the kids are gonna get all wet and everything, get going there, so. But anyway,
Yeah.
thanks, appreciate it. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, and I have a question back on the Marquees. I know that the high school, they had one that was still, looked pretty fairly good. What about if we transfer the old one into the stadium, the football stadium, Bobby Morrow Stadium, because that doesn't have any, or is there one, planning on putting one up there too?
We did not include one at the stadium. Our intent is to put the one from the high school right out here in the parking lot. We took down the old marquee that was not an LED, and you may have seen it's missing in the front part of the parking lot there. We've leveled that, and then our intent is to run electricity out to that and put the one from the high school right there on that corner, so everybody going by on Stinger, which we think is pretty heavily traveled, will get to see district updates.
Okay, so then
But if there's a need at the stadium, we could certainly price that out. But that was not included in our initial bid. It would
Okay,
have
no, I
to
was
be-
just asking, because it would be a nice place to put one, doesn't have to be a brand, one that would be usable, but since, but that's okay, that's good.
And I
we can
have
get a price
concern.
for it.
Also, I'm sorry. I have a concern. I know that Berta Cavazos Middle School, the back part, the kids, have you ever been there, sir, in the mornings where those kids sit, where am I? And they have these little cement benches. And those kids, sir, they walk around that area all morning long, lunch and everything. But there's no canopy, there's nothing to cover them while they're out there. Sometimes it's raining and they're still out there. And this is wonderful, what you're doing for the elementary schools. I think that's great. It's about time we did that. But what about BCMS? Have you thought about that? Have you seen Berta Cavazos? I was there for 25 years, sir.
Right, so the middle schools, including BC, have the indoor gyms for inclement weather that
Okay,
that
yes,
they can
do.
use.
They do.
And so when we did our extensive list of priority projects for the district, that was not presented as one. We can certainly revisit that list, but when we did our analysis of the things that we need to improve district-wide with the buildings, that was not even part of the discussion. So we can certainly bring that list back up as we're starting to complete these first priority projects and see where that would fall in our laundry list of things to do.
Well, I know that when I was there, the inclement weather, they used to line them up against the walls, and they divided them by the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, who was closer to which classroom, and they also used the cafeteria. So I know that they could use that area, but I'm talking about the times when it's real hot out there, and they're sitting out there during lunch and before school. I don't know.
Right, and again,
Something.
we can certainly put that on the list and see where it falls with our list of priorities.
Okay.
But
And that's what I'm talking about, the list of
Yep.
priorities,
Yes, ma'am.
sure.
We can look at
Okay.
it and see where it falls, but every middle school does have, whether it's too hot or rain, they do have the indoor gyms that they can use. So that's an option for them.
I know that it's their choice, but they don't have a choice, they make them come in. They're not allowed to stay outside, they make them come in. But it's pertaining to the time that they're out there in the mornings, walking, well, you got this.
Yes, ma'am.
Visit,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, any other committee concerns? All right, can I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Mr. Lopez, do I have a second? Second by Ms. Weaver, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? We adjourn the building committee meeting at 6:49 PM.